Lowe's knows Sundays are for football, so tackle your home improvement projects by Saturday and earn your Sunday with great deals on LG and Bosch appliances, select Bounty and Swiffer cleaning products, and more. Then once your to-do list is done, get ready to kick back, relax, and enjoy the game. Shop in-store or online now and earn your Sunday with help from Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Get almost anything you need delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get chicken parmesan delivered. A little escape? No. A delicious bowl of grapes? Yes. Yes, that. An afternoon stroll? Sorry, no. A burrito bowl? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
This is Julian Edelman from Games with Names. Now let's get into the serious stuff. We're talking football food, specifically Daisy French onion dip. These are so delicious. They're like homemade dips, made with real herb and spices, also made with some Daisy sour cream. Daisy sour cream is a long-standing staple for Taco Tuesday. They also have Daisy Ranch Dip. So get out there and give Daisy French Onion Dip a try. You will not regret it.
Jordan and Jake.
I feel good. I'm excited, ready to go.
Delhomme stops. He throws it across field. Guess who? Jordan Gross.
Here are your Panther Hall of Honor members, Jordan Gross and Jake Delhomme.
Jordan and Jake, been a few weeks, buddy. It's my fault. I got a new job. You might have heard.
I did hear it. I want to hear more about it. And it's great to hear your voice. A lot has happened. Very happy for you. Why don't you inform everyone?
Yeah. So you're now, Jake. I know you're probably nervous because you are now talking to a big timer, the official offensive line coach of the University of Utah Utes. So I didn't a month ago. Maybe it was a month ago at this point. Call it a month ago. This was not on the horizon. And my good friend, Morgan Scally, who was actually in the same recruiting class I was in at Utah, has been at Utah continually all the way through since as a player to a GA, to a DB coach, to a D coordinator, to named head coach in waiting. He got named head coach when Kyle Whittingham retired for about 2 days, right before the Vegas Bowl. And so Morgan took over. Kyle then went on to get the job at Michigan, as you know. And with that, some of the staff left. So the night after the Vegas Bowl ended, Morgan Scally called me and said, "Jordan, you're my O-line coach." I said, "I don't know, man. That's a big change from what I got going on right now. Pretty good gig and a lot I've built here at this football program at my high school." And he's like, "I got to have you." So we talked about it with my family, and I just like, man, I couldn't believe what a great opportunity and an awesome challenge at a place that I love. And so I said, "All right, I'm in." So I literally the next day got on a flight and burned down there and have been running ever since, man. So pretty cool experience for me. Just football has continued to bless me and my family. And now I'm in a whole new chapter, recruiting and working with my line groups. Pretty awesome, man. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's that's great, Jordan. It's I think it was inevitable you were going to end up doing that.
Well, why didn't you tell me? You should have told me. If you
Well,
knew, I would have got mentally prepared. Jeez.
you could just tell you were becoming the football coach, and certainly all the details that go with it. You're very gifted in that regard. And so, yeah, very happy for you. And I know it's been a change of pace. When I spoke with you earlier in the week, you were in Phoenix, Arizona recruiting. And yeah, but it's got to be fun, or should I say a little easier when you go in to meet John Doe, 16 years old at John Doe High School. And you're like, "Hey, Jordan Gross, O-line coach, University of Utah." And you talk a little bit and you can tell him, "Yeah, I was a first-round pick, top 10 pick out of Utah, played over 10 years in the NFL, played in the Super Bowl." That's got to help when recruiting, I would think. But
Well, they definitely find me interesting, if nothing else, And to them, we all got to realize, like, when we throw out years that things happened, 2010 is not real recent in a 16-year-old's mind. You know what I mean, or whatever. But there's still relevancy there. There's pertinency. Um, they love that, I'm coaching O-line. I played O-line, and I've got a lot of friends that are in the business still coaching. So, yeah, man, there's just things to share, like talking about stressful moments within the offensive lineman's game where, oh, man, that guy, chops your hand and you're feeling like you made a short corner and you're starting to panic, and, you little things like that you could bring up and discuss. I think, too, the advantage I have is being in high school, Jake. Honestly, people love hearing that because I can relate to, like, exactly where these kids are right now, because that's the world I've been living in the last 6 years. So no, there's just kind of bookending this college chapter with, I've been in the high school world and then a ton of experience in the pros, and now to be here, it's been very, very fun. And man, I'll tell you what, you got to be on your game. You're out here talking about the program, and you're working for a university. You're getting asked some tough questions by parents, and you got to make sure you have the right answer. So I'm loving it.
Well, I think that's going to come natural to you because you're going to be honest. You're going to look at somebody in the eye, and if they don't know that you're being completely honest with them, then they're not a good judge of character. And so, yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think you'll produce many offensive linemen. And, I'm excited for you and the family making that move. It's certainly a little bit easier being that you and Dana both graduated from Utah, and you've spent a lot of time going back there. So it's not like it's something brand new.
No, 100%. It's fun. We're looking forward to it. My daughter, God bless her, she's going to move for her senior year of high school. So I am like the epitome of a coach, moving my family with 1 year left, but she's excited to come down here and get something new going. So, and she wants to go to Utah anyways. So it's
So it works out
actually,
perfect.
oh yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll get fired after 1 year, Jake. I'll come back trying to start up reboot the podcast or something. Who knows, but we'll see. I was able to catch the end of the season that I was no longer podcasting on, Jake, man. And I know that it's a little bit old news, but you and I haven't talked about it. Well, just obviously disappointing to not win that playoff game, Jake, but what an awesome environment, man. What a cool night for Charlotte, for the organization. I thought our team just battled their butts off and couldn't be more proud of the way that they handled that whole season, and dang excited for things ahead, Jake.
Yeah, Jordan, I'm just like you, buddy. It was no matter how we became the NFC South champions, we were that, and I think the growth that this team has shown under Coach Canales and Dan Morgan has been tremendous, and all the young players were playing, and the atmosphere, Jordan, that Saturday afternoon at Bank of America Stadium was fantastic. You could just feel it. I know driving into the stadium, I was driving in that day, and it felt like older times, right? Like the good times. The traffic, people walking around, there was a buzz going around the city. And then from the beginning, I don't remember seeing the fans sit, to be quite honest. They were standing up, it seemed like pretty much the entire game. And then certainly the whole anticipation of Cam coming out and banging the drum, that got everybody fired up. And then our play, continue to keep the crowd in the game. And, you got to tip your hat to the Rams. They made a couple of plays, and they're a really good football team with an elite quarterback with some elite skill players. But that throw that Matthew Stafford made to the winning touchdown, we have perfect coverage by Trey Morrigan and Merrigan. It's just a 6'7", 260-pound tight end in full extension is able to come down with it on a beautiful throw by Matthew Stafford. But I'm just so excited of where we got going forward and how this team worked and who we are going forward, and haven't heard anything about any coach leaving. I do know that EJ has interviewed for a job, maybe had a second interview with the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did have a second interview.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll see where that goes. I mean, obviously, he's deserving, and everybody loves him. Man, a high character, has been a high performer as a coordinator, Jake. So, it's like you wish him the best, but you're also like, man, I kind of hope it doesn't go well. You want to keep him.
Right. But I feel he's a great teacher. Just listening to him, and I've been able to watch him. Yeah, I think he's an impressive guy, and I think it won't be long before he's a head coach. Selfishly, yes, would I love to have him for another year? Absolutely. While we continue to add to this defense. But, you never know how it's going to shake out.
Well, so yeah, second interview with the Raiders. He was requested for the Steelers, I know, at one point. And so this time of year, there's just going to be a lot of that figuring out where all the dominoes fall. Also, not a surprise, but we exercised Bryce's fifth-year option, Jake. I mean, that's a no-brainer. And do you think that there'll be a off-season extension discussions? Think they'll let him play it out a little bit and then see kind of how he's doing? What do you expect from that, Jake?
Yeah, that's a good question, Jordan. It depends on, it takes two to tango, right? So I don't know where the Panthers at in that regard, and I'm not sure where Bryce and his representatives are at. Is he going to say, hey, I'm going to play this year out? Because, when you pick up the option, you have 2 more years left. And I think could be a franchise tag involved the following year. So there's still many years left that the Panthers have control. So I think it all depends on the appetite on both sides, on where they want to go from there. And, does Bryce want to just play it out and go forward and see how it shakes out? So, yeah, it's going to be interesting, Jordan. It's going to be interesting what we address in the offseason. I think Dan Morgan, we know he keeps things close to the vest, but he was pretty transparent on a few interviews after about where he thinks the areas of need. And, Jordan, my heart hurt for Iquano. When I saw Icky go down, I got very worried immediately when he went down. It didn't look good. And, so that's going to be another big one because I anticipated, my opinion was we would sign him to a nice deal in the offseason to be our left tackle for the future. So a lot of questions. Certainly this team will be very different. That's just the NFL world for you. But I like how we've added pieces the last couple of years. I like where our drafts have gone, especially last year, and look forward to another round of free agency and another round of draft picks to make this team better.
So, yeah, with Icky, it's a patella, right? That's what I mean, and that's a long recovery. So addressing that, man, just a guy in-house, Josh Nijman, I mean, I thought he played well this season when he had the opportunity in there, Jake. Do you think there's an in-house replacement for him?
Well, that's the thing. At least we know everything about him. There's 2 years of there's 2 years. You have a body of work on him. I think Josh does a really good job. I think especially in pass protection, I think that's a little better than his run blocking. But I'm not saying, run blocking, Icky is dominant as a run blocker. I love watching Icky run block. I think he's just dominant as a run blocker. But I think Josh does a fantastic job in the pass protection realm. So he'll be a free agent. Cade Mays, I believe, will be a free agent. Brady Christian. There's so many, Jordan. It's just that's the way it goes. But guys, yeah, you always want a nice payday, but you want the right situation also. And if the right situation arises, that's it usually works out in the best for most players when you go to the right situation.
Well, you never can go broke getting good offensive linemen in there. So maybe in the draft this year, first round, there's 2 tackles available at Utah, Caleb Lomu and Spencer Fano, that should probably both be first rounders. So,
Well, maybe, I don't know. Listen, I'll tell Dan, maybe I can pull some strings and find out somebody that works inside the Utah program,
I just hope, I hope all my buddies in the NFL, Brandon Bean, Jeff King, but Dan Morgan, I hope they all just come through Utah now to check out our practices so I can see old friends.
Exactly right. I think you would enjoy that. And yeah. So, it's going to be an interesting offseason, Jordan, but how fun is it? I think we enjoyed the season so much. We've seen this growth of this football team and what we're anticipating going forward. And I like the fact that Canales kind of addressed it like, yeah, that's what we expect going forward. And we're going to add competition. That's one thing about Coach Canales. It's like, hey, we're going to add competition, and this is what we're going to do. We're trying to get there, and we don't have to feel this way again. That was his message in the locker room after the Rams game. It's up to us. We don't have to feel this way again. We can control it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's like the maturation process has happened. Now the expectation needs to be like we need to be division champs every year. for the last how long, Jake? We've been like, ooh, this year we're on the right track. We might get there. And as you said, like we pulled it off. We got it done. We're division champs. Bryce is just going to get better. The group around him, T-Mac, obviously was a home run this year with our draft pick. Like the expectation now, Jake, is nothing short of division champs. I mean, am I wrong in that?
No, I mean, it's supposed to be. And I think you ask the leaders of the football team, especially the Derek Browns of the world, and Bryce also. I mean, I think Derek will be more direct in saying that, yeah, you're damn right we should be. I think Bryce would be more the diplomatic way of just kind of,
One
we're
day
going
at a
to
time.
one
Yeah.
day at a time try our best. But, I mean, I know that's how I feel. That's for certain.
Well, T-Mac, I already just mentioned him, how great of a season he had, and now he's a finalist for Rookie of the Year. I mean, I got to think he's going to win that, Jake, don't you think?
Yeah, you would think so. I think certainly quarterbacks get all the love, and that's usually the way it goes. And Tyler Shuck really had a good end to the season, but I just think you would think that T-Mac's going to be the guy.
Well, you win the division. We're in the same division, and you win the division. Like, come on. I think that's definitely the way that thing needs to go. How about Christian McCaffrey? He's like up for 3 of the postseason awards, isn't he? He's MVP, offensive MVP, and comeback player of the year. Am I right in that? That's awesome.
I think you're right. Yeah, that's awesome. Happy for him. I think we all know the love that this organization has had for Christian, and what a great year that they had. I just, in their defense, I think they just ran out of gas, traveling the way they had to travel, short week, and they played a Seattle team who, Jordan, I've seen a lot of teams play in person this year, and that defense to me was like, okay, they're not fun. They're not fun to play against. They're a problem.
I need to, now that I'm in college football, I'm reading current news as we go, and it looks like college football playoffs going to remain at a 12-team field for 2026. I say boo to that. As a team this year, the Utes that were like right on the cusp at 11-2, we got to get that thing expanded, Jake. And I think it came down to Big Ten and SEC just were butting heads about how that thing was going to play out. They had all the leverage in that thing. So hopefully at some point we go to 16-team field, Jake. What do you think about that?
Okay, I'm good with that, Jordan. Obviously you're in the college world more than me, but my thing is this.
1 month more than you. 1 month more.
Yeah. Okay. So like, let's finish with college football around the first of the year.
I'm
right?
with you there.
Do we start a week earlier? Do we not play 13 games or 14? Can we play 11 games or 12?
Well, that's part of the problem. It would lose conference championship games, and the big conferences didn't want that because there's a revenue source there. So it's got to get better. Jake, I was part of the portal this year with us. Like the day I got here, okay, go get in the portal. We lost all 5 starters to the graduation or the draft. You need to find some guys. I can't imagine doing that if you're still in the dang playoffs, Jake, or like the head coaches, watch Oregon and Lupoy is going to Cal, the DC, and Stein's going to Kentucky. Like they're trying to run their new program and coach a playoff team. Yeah, there's some challenges to it for sure. So, yeah, it's interesting seeing it mold and move as we navigate through it. But I don't think the final product has been figured out yet, but man, it's sure popular. So something's happening right.
Yeah, something's happening right. I just think, I would love for it to be, the whole New Year's Day type of feel where that's the finality, the final or somewhere around there. That's the semifinals, somewhere around there, So, but we'll see how it all plays out. But that's your world now, Jordan. I'm going to leave that to you to figure it out.
I'm working my way through it, Jake, okay? I'm working my way through it. Well, we're going into offseason. So what do you got up in the plan in the offseason, Jake? A little body recovery, maybe a tropical vacation. What are you doing?
Jordan, I'm kind of, we're very different down here in Louisiana. The tropical recovery. I mean, look, to be quite honest, it was 75, 77 last week for a few days. We really don't ever hit that. When we lived in Cleveland, that's all everyone talked about. Hey, where y'all going on vacation in January? And we didn't know anything. You need to get out in those areas. So, yeah, I can't really say. So off season for me will be hot and heavy with the horses, and that's kind of about it. And then we'll see what happens from there.
All right. Well, have fun with that, man. We Panthers off season, like you said, this is a cool NFL time when you're finishing up with the playoffs, and the conference championship games are going to be awesome. In the Super Bowl, obviously. I just love the NFL offseason. Though the Panthers are on the offseason, the NFL is not in the offseason yet, but exciting time to be a Panther fan, be a part of the organization, man, just on the heels of that playoff game and moving forward. I'm excited about where we sit, Jake. And we have not, since we've been doing this podcast, we haven't had this sentiment when the season got over. It was always like, we were close, or next year, or what, and it feels good. And well done, Panthers, to be in a spot where, man, there's incredible optimism and excitement moving forward.
Yeah, Jordan. I can't say how much fun. It's hard for me to put into words how much fun I had this season. The way the season started, you lose in Jacksonville, you and I together in Arizona, you lose in Arizona. You felt you gave that game away, and to see us just continue to fight and grow, I think we're on the cusp, and I like some of the pieces we have, and I think they're going to be continuing to grow and get better going forward. I believe it. I see it. And I said it last year going into the season. It's the first time you really felt like, okay, I think we're starting to move somewhere. Well, now we're moving somewhere, and now we're adding to it, and now it's go time.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, Jake. Let's enjoy you enjoy the off season. I'm working my tail off. You got to come see me in Utah now. Come check out the program.
I would be awesome to go do that. Hey, all you need now is you get Smitty to go be wide receiver coach, man. How about that?
Oh my gosh, could you imagine that? That would either be a home run or a disaster, just depending on how he would be received with his intensity. He definitely knows his stuff, doesn't he?
Oh, he knows his stuff, and I think he'd be great. To me, he'd be great at it because he'd be telling guys the truth and trying to make them better. And I think with this day and age, and you can kind of attest to this more than most guys still want to be coached, and you can be hard on them if they know the intention is there to make them better. I just believe that.
Yeah, 100%. It's gonna be fun. Jake, let's keep in touch. We'll see what the podcast. Next year's next year. We'll worry about that later. But man, what a great season doing this with you, producer Matt. Killer job. I love that he lets us give him a hard time on the air when he can't defend himself. So we had a baby born. Matt had a baby this year. 2025, 26 has been pretty good to us, Jake. So great job, man. Love
it's
you.
Been
It's been
great.
A blast. Yeah.
One thing I'm going to want to end on, and we'll see what happens after the Super Bowl. Maybe we can catch you for another little blurb. We'll get Luke on there. Now, I want a Super Bowl pick from you. I know we're in the Final Four as we're going into Conference Championship weekend. I want to hear, who is your Super Bowl pick?
Oh, man. I'm not prepared for this.
I'll start. Why do you think?
I mean, I know who's playing, but
I'm telling you, I think it's Seattle, Jordan. We know
I was gonna say the Rams.
We know how difficult it is to play. We know how difficult it is to play in Seattle. And this week, that's the one thing I'm going to look forward to. Can they break the huddle and run their offense? Because that's the loudest place on earth when we tried to play there in the NFC Championship game.
The Rams have the MVP.
You're right about that, and this will be the third time playing them. So, do coaches overthink it and chase too many ghosts, or do they do what they do best and have that type of game plan? So, obviously, you and I are staying in the NFC. We're not dealing with the AFC.
I'm sure Zach's not going to pick the Patriots. I'm salty all these years later.
You're right about that. All right, so you're going with the Rams. I'm going with the Seahawks.
Yeah, all right.
We'll find a spot to talk, later on, and whenever you're not so busy coaching up future first-round picks.
That's the plan, at least. All right, be good, Jake. Appreciate you.
Hey, man. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hey, so Liquid IV has got something huge coming up on February 8th.
And that is coincidentally the same day as another big game.
You know, hydration will be a huge focus.
That's what Liquid IV is all about, tackling dehydration.
And tasting good while doing it. There are awesome flavors like sugar-free mango pineapple, rainbow sherbet, and raspberry lemonade. The best part is that it's clinically demonstrated to hydrate faster than water.
Boom! Hydration done right.
I'm assuming you guys will be tuning into the game. So remember to keep an eye out for Liquid IV while you watch. Stay hydrated. Stock up on Liquid IV at liquid-iv.com and use the code NUTHOUSE for 20% off for a first-time purchase.